What's happening, peeps? I'm Tony Jeske. Welcome to Elite Moto Factory's YouTube channel. Here, before us, we have a 2025 KTM 85 SX. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But before I get into that, I want to give you guys a little intro, as well as mention, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Here's some background. I started my dirt bike journey as a race mechanic at the end of 2002. I wrapped it up in 2013 with some bobbing and weaving in there within the industry, some in-house roles, but did serve as a factory race mechanic for a few seasons. All the while, took some side work out of my garage for some of FMX's most accomplished riders, which was pretty cool. And I kept that under wraps because if I made that public knowledge, I would have lost my job, which once I finally did, I did lose my job. It was probably the best thing for me. So then I started Jeske MX Customs in 2012 in Southern California in my garage. Built a lot of crazy bikes, really neat bikes, race bikes. The stuff you see on TV nowadays is a bit different, but the factory equipment still factory equipment. And was blessed to be a part of that and have a small role in that as well. With my independent ventures, they've been up and down, like a lot of things. You know, trying to sell the idea of custom dirt bikes was kind of wild, especially at the time. You know, a lot of processes weren't near what they are today. I mean, it's 20 years ago almost. So it's a lot different. And nowadays you have social media. Everything's way easier to find online instead of actually putting the time in and figuring out processes for yourself. So there was a big difference back then. Starting, you know, building custom dirt bikes was unheard of at the time. It was myself and two other dudes, you know, with the X Games. We built some crazy bikes. They weren't factory bikes, but they were wild, and they did some pretty awesome things with the pilots that rode them. So that just, I guess, puts the proof in the pudding that, you know, old Tony boy, he does know what he's doing. Moving beyond that, there was, you know, a bit of my work that was published in magazines. You know, I did that. I don't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it after the fourth time. But there was a level of necessity I felt for getting your work out there. I had to do some pretty awesome stuff. A lot of that I had to force, because at the time the industry, they turned a blind eye, I guess, to custom dirt bikes. They thought it was far-fetched. I did too at times, but I still, you know, pushed forward and did my thing per se. And the linking up with the FMX guys, that really sparked a lot of interest, and the creativity really started to flow. Now, with that creativity came some hurdles, right? We didn't have the processes that we do now with Cerakote, and even powder coat back then wasn't as good as it is now. So that was a learning process, which was actually a lot of fun, right? At the end of the day, we want to be having fun doing what we're doing and enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, you love it. And if you love it, you can do really, really awesome stuff. That's what really fueled that fire to still build really badass bikes. The best I could, really, to be the best I could. And at the time, to be the best. At the end of the day, I wanted to build the best custom dirt bikes. It definitely pioneered a movement. You know, myself and my other two buddies, you know, with forging that on, we didn't have social media. We just show up to X Games and be like, dang, that's cool. And bounce ideas off each other. It's pretty rad. You know, both those guys had their own dirt bike shops, and one of them's name is Cliff and one of them's name is Chad. And it was awesome to basically play with those guys and show up with hot rods and compete. It doesn't really happen anymore. The last time that happened with me was in 2016. I'm going to build a custom bike. It has to perform first before it looks like the vision in my mind. If I can't make it run, it's not worth the time, because I'm a racer at heart. And that's part of the fuel. There's a lot of people out there just building custom bikes, custom dirt bikes, custom motorcycles, and they just kind of slap them together. There's a craft, and some people understand it and some people don't. They just want to throw stickers at it and coatings and call it a custom dirt bike. That's not what I do. That's what sets us apart. Even though I'm a little behind the ball on the YouTube thing here, I'm a pretty quiet guy, but I also know that doesn't bring a value to a community, to my business, and hopefully you're gonna learn something. I know I've taught a lot of people a lot of things through other YouTube channels in this space. So I'm gonna do this now on my own because I need to. And I would appreciate all your guys' support on obviously liking and subscribing to the channel. But if you could check out my website, elitemotofactory.com. There's a number of services there that we do offer as a shop, but we also have merchandise. And with that, you're supporting the shop. You're supporting myself, my family. I really appreciate you guys listening to me just kind of rant. With that said, now we're going to talk about this thing. It's orange. And it's a kid's bike. And it's a giveaway bike, which is really cool because I'm excited to launch my giveaway bikes with this one as a pilot. Taking a shot at a kid's bike. I mean, I know KTM 85s really well. I've built a number of SUPERMINIs over the years. This one's a new generation. It's going to be a lot of fun to construct, but I think more importantly, I'm going to have fun giving it to somebody that hopefully they're going to use it. I know a lot of giveaway bikes are given away and then they're turned around and sold, which that's totally cool. Like, it's going to be whoever's bike it is that wins it, they can do whatever they want with it. Ultimately, I hope it is awarded to a rider that can put it to use one day. With that said, a real special thank you is in order to Young Power Sports of Logan in Utah. The Young Power Sports group has had my back on these things, and we plan to do a lot more. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is awkward. Now, for the vision with this thing. Now, I'm talking to the guys that are my age. I'm 42. Think back to 2003. Jeremy McGrath. That's the route we're going to go with this one. It's going to be rad. Like, really cool. I'm actually really stoked to see it come together. I already got some graphics drawn up with my buddy Dustin. Yeah. Got a lot of supporters in on it already. We got a set of X-Trigs this week. We got a bunch of Works Connection goodies this week. Velocity Components sent us a box. I'm going to open that here in this video for you guys to see. We're actually, going to run an Instagram giveaway on some special tools from Velocity Components. So make sure you get over to the Instagram page, follow it if you already aren't, and then pay attention to when that post is put up for those Velocity bits. Those are some really cool tools that were invented recently. They're personal friends of mine that run the company. Stoked I can talk about them in this video and showcase what they have to offer. I have the tools myself. I use them in my shop. They rule. I'm sitting here, I'm staring at this thing, and I go, oh wait, we got to talk about the giveaways in this video. Every time I do a video, I'm going to try to come up with something to give away. Okay? In this particular case, I have two things from Works Connection, and I have a pair of SHIN Savers. Oh, SHIN Savers, you ask? What are those? They're really neat. These are SHIN Savers. They go on your foot pegs. Okay? Cover them up like this. So when you're in a garage, and you're doing your thing, you walk by your bike and you don't slice your shin open or bash it super hard because that's not fun. Yeah, super cool. So there will be some of these in the video just to check out, but my buddy Josh owns this company and he had sent some of these and I decided I was going to give them away. These were for me, but I'm going to give them to one of you. Now, in order to win these, what you need to do, this is totally random, it's not even dirt bike related, but I want to know who your favorite bass fisherman is. I'm a bass fisherman, but I want to know who your favorite professional bass fisherman is, more specifically, okay? So fire that off in the comments, and I'm going to pick my favorite in this thread within 2 weeks, okay? So it'll give it some time to circulate and move around or whatever YouTube does. So that's the assignment for the SHIN Shavers, okay? Now, for the works connection bits, right here we have a set of radiator braces for a 2002 to 2004 CR250R. Who wants them? Frame guards. This one is for a 2000 to 2001 YZ125 and a YZ250. Who wants these? Anybody? Raise your hand. No? Somebody wants these. I guarantee it. So your assignment for these, I want to know what your favorite Joe Dirt quote is. And I'm going to pick 2 of my favorites and announce in this thread in 2 weeks, just like the SHIN Shavers. So fire off your favorite Joe Dirt quote to me, because I want to laugh, and I'm sure you do too. Let's talk about this little bugger a little bit. 2025 KTM 85 SX. I'm turning it into a Super Mini, and I'm going to give it away to one of you guys out there. In order to get entered for this, you got to go to EliteMotoFactory.com. Check out the link on the 85 SX/Super Mini giveaway. Pick yourself up some merch. You, the kids, your wife, the grandparents, pick them up some merch. Every $25 you spend is 1 entry into the giveaway. And I'm actually toying with the idea on doing some multiples, but I'm going to think more about that. As of right now, it's $25 for an entry. $100 spent is free shipping. So be sure you snag yourself something, because this giveaway closes August 4th. So you be sure to get on it, because entries are coming in. Odds are extremely high right now for a chance at this. It's not going to be the case with more in the future. So if you want in on a giveaway bike built by me, now's the time. Act fast. All right, guys. I wasn't going to pull them out of the box, but I want to at least show you these beauties, because they're freaking awesome. I love X-ray clamps. Since they came out back in, oh man, what was it? After 2010, I want to say, that we started seeing them here in the States. The rock system, it's pretty cool. It's opposing clamping. So you don't have to go nutso with your torque like you do on a traditional triple clamp. You're going back and forth all the time just to make sure you get torque. It puts even clamping on the fork tubes all the way around. So you don't have any tight spots in the back or in the front. It's pretty slick. But these are the tech clamps. So this is a stationary stem. The pro clamps are the ones that you can actually rotate the stem to change your offset. These are stock offset at 14 millimeters. So we don't have an offset change going in this bike, but I just wanted to show you guys how freaking cool these things were. And then there's 3 bar mount positions in the top, 1, 2, 3. And then also PhDS kit, rubber mounted at the bar, not at the clamp. Pretty slick. Got some risers, the whole shebang. But it's pretty awesome. There'll be some footage of this in the video as well. But yeah, just wanted you guys to see it. This is going to be somebody's motorcycle. It's not mine. I'm just building it for one of you guys. It's pretty cool. And then we already got our 105 kit right here. Gonna do some port work and whatnot in-house and get it pretty dialed in. We got a lot of other goodies to come to pair all that together. And then lastly, there's more parts from Works Connection, but this right here is it's pretty radical. We got a pro launch for this guy. I'm gonna probably do a video on how to do a start device, because I don't think there's a lot of that stuff out there. But I've been putting these things on for a long time, and there's some tricks to doing these as well, other than just drilling holes in your fork guard and going nutso. This is one of their new colors, which is the gray. They also have a Kashima. They call it a Cash. It's pretty cool. It's a brown, bronzy. And then I got all the brake caps, the clutch cap, rotating bar clamps, because a lot of times these stock ones is just the clamp to bar. So it'll gall as it's, if you take a fall, it'll actually, either it'll stick and you're gonna break, you know, in this case, you got hydraulic master cylinders, you're gonna break a master cylinder or a perch if you don't run them loose enough to rotate. What's nice about the Works Connection parts is they come with a half moon, it's some sort of plastic, rotates with them being a little bit tighter at the clamp. So that's another part that's in the box over there from Works Connection. Thank you guys. Thank you Works Connection. Thank you X-Trig and Technical Touch for getting involved in this. Thank you Young Power Sports of Logan. Bike came from them. The 105 kit came from them. Hit them up. If you guys are in Utah or in the Northwest region, they have a pile of dealerships in the state of Utah. And they have one here in Idaho, actually. Young Power Sports. Okay, guys, almost forgot. Ugh. The sauce. The sauce. ETS is a big supporter of Elite Moto Factory, as I am them. They rule, okay? And also, the fuel runs really well. That was just a prop. It's empty. But I got plenty of hot sauce we're gonna run this hog off of once all's said and done. So if you guys are looking for race fuel, you need to look into ETS racing fuel. Support the people, right? As they say, support the people that support your people. Okay, guys. One of the reasons we're here right now is we're gonna frame this bike. We're gonna tear it down. We're gonna get the frame powder coated, do some other knickknacks and fun stuff. We're gonna keep this one clean though. It's gonna be more factory-esque, MC 2003 era. It was pretty cool. I was there. I saw the bike. It was wild. It was magical. And like I said, someone's gonna win it. So that's even neater. That said, we actually gotta get this thing apart. And we probably should get into that. It's gonna be crispy. So I'm gonna take these hands, this one here, and the one that's holding this, and we're gonna take this bike apart in this video. So if any kids out there wanna learn how to build a SUPERMINI, this is a good resource for that too. And make sure you get entered to win this one. Go to the website, elitemotofactory.com. What are you waiting for? Why are you looking at my... Just go. Now. elitemotofactory.com. 25 bucks. It's one entry. Go do the thing. Stuff. Peeps, this thing is definitely orange and highly stock. And we are going to change that with a little bit of resource and some time and a bunch of skills. It kind of smells funny in here right now. I don't know. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay? Maybe it's the fact that this tire got roasted by yours truly. Get rid of that piece of garbage. Drama. Yes. I do like burnouts. It's kind of my thing. Once this thing's built, I will not do a burnout. No burnouts are allowed. But when they're new and they're bone stock, or even if they're old and they're getting some love, I'm probably gonna do a burnout. Just make sure it runs, break it in a little bit. Anywho, gotta have some fun. Enough of that. Let's check out our situation, sort of. I got my cart over here. I got my dish tubs kind of prepped. I like dish tubs because, you know, we just put all this stuff in it. This is a brand new bike, so nothing really needs to be super cleaned. But I like for storing wire harness, radiators, all the rubber, chain guides, sliders, you know, tank strap, you name it. And then I'm up here, we got all our parts laid out, but we're gonna, you know, lay the bike on it, basically. But yeah, these carts are pretty sweet. We got a couple things out. Hardware tin right here. This is our box from Velocity Components right here. Make sure you follow the Instagram page because that is where I'm going to play that little game. Make sure you guys are in on the giveaway for Velocity. Name this one the Sledgehammer, based on Napoleon Dynamite, because I resemble Pedro quite a lot actually. But when I have a mustache, I do not do it any good justice. I'm not Mexican enough. I'm actually Puerto Rican. Heck of a swimmer, though, I'll tell you. Anyway, probably should have said that, but I did. Okay, check you later. Velocity, again, thank you guys for being a part of this. Definitely looking forward to it. Buddy, buddy, buddy. These are brand new. They just came out with these. It's a base so you can grease your upper bearing with the grease puck, right? It's pretty cool. So you take your bearing, you plop it on here, and then you take your grease puck over the top, and then you pack it with a grease puck tool. Pretty sweet. So this is Husky, KTM, and Gas, Honda, and Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Yamaha. And it has a sleeve as well. Velocity components, guys. And then our giveaway items. Drum roll. So I have the puck already. So I'm going to show you guys the grease puck. Part of the giveaway on Instagram is going to be a grease puck and spanner wrenches. Grease puck, a base, and spanner wrench. Just worked on launching. Oh man, that's bad ass. He's been working on this for a while. It's got a 3/8 drive for your torque wrench. Good for your spanner nuts. You can get on your triple clamp, make steering tension adjustment. Open end for the Kawasaki. He actually recently ran out of the box end, so we opted for the Cowie one here in the shop. I don't work on a whole lot of Cowies. I like the box end personally, but that is the Cowie. Here's a Honda. Man, that is awesome. You guys crushed it with these things. See, that's rad. I like the box, and it's got the 12-point. You have Yamaha right here. So all the spanner nuts are different sizes, obviously. Thank you, Velocity. Thank you, Tommy, at Velocity, more importantly. And we have a Suzuki one down here. So I believe you guys can see that because I already tested it. But we have our bases for our top bearing. And then we have our spanner nuts. So this is all front end servicing items. If you guys are looking to pick this stuff up, you need to get over to Velocity Components website. We're working on making a mini grease puck as well, doing some R&D for that with those guys. So that'll be coming out soon. So you're gonna wanna make sure you get the grease puck for that. But this right here is the standard grease puck, okay, that Velocity has. Pretty slick, guys. That's the grease puck. Get your front trigger grease gun. That's the small one. You don't need anything big. And that way you have more control. There's 2 O-rings down here. You bottom this out on your bearing and you come off just a skosh, just so it can drive the grease in there. And in this case, if we had a top bearing, I would display that. But this goes down here. And then that way you can get your top bearing like you can your bottom bearing, and pack it properly with this tool. Or you do the old-fashioned way by hand on the top. You can't do that on the bottom bearing. That's what the beauty of this is. The only way to truly pack the bottom bearing is when you go to build a set of triple clamps. If you pack it by hand, doing that number, you're in luck. But they actually have spanner nut sockets. This is for a Yamaha. For a Cowie, everything's laser etched. Super cool. I have a Honda as well. And this I recently used on a 99 CR125. They go back a long ways. So you guys pick up some items, at least get a grease puck, because I guarantee you're going to use that, because you should be servicing your steering. For guys that are racing, you know, at the local level, amateur racing, you should be doing your steering bearings every 50 hours at least, at a minimum, once a year. If they're racing a lot, you need to chop that in half, because you're dealing with a lot of pressure washing and Velocity Components. You guys need to get with the program, pick yourself up some of these fine specimens. I wanted to show you guys because I'm going to put a series of giveaways together on Instagram, including a grease puck, a spanner wrench, and then obviously the base for the grease puck. So stay tuned to the Instagram page at Elite Moto Factory. I'm making a video. I just want to show you some of the tools I pulled out just to prep for tearing her down. Okay, I got my tins. One's a hardware tin, one's a chain tin, one's a miscellaneous tin, pitcher for coolant. We got a hammer and a punch for driving out. In this case, a swing arm, pivot shaft, and some of the hand tools that I thought would be in the special features department of tearing this apart. We got axle sockets, rear, front. We got a 13 millimeter because it's a KTM. And then we have the Torx because it's a KTM. And then we have a 10 millimeter semi-deep well triple clamp bolts and front axle pinchies. And I will employ some of those little buggers for some jug action. I could really use some music. Okay guys, you're probably wondering what I'm doing. I'm making some grip covers. A lot of these parts that are going to come off this bike are going to be sold, so I want to keep everything new. So I just take a little bit of paper towel and take one sheet, cut it in half, wrap up the grips. I just like to make a little tag so you can rip them off, and then you got a little tear off grip cover. When you're working on your bike, you don't get your grips all nasty, especially like a Renthal Soft. It's such a light color gray or even like white grips. Obviously, those are going to get dirty. So I just like to make little grip covers. And then I can tear them off and throw them in the trash when I'm done. So that's a little tip before I really start getting into this thing. I'm making a plan. Pull the chain, drain the coolant. First items of business. Because then there's no linkage. But if there was a linkage, dealing with a shock and linkage with a chain on there is a pain in the butt. So we're going to do that. We're going to pull a chain, drain the coolant. So I'm going to take my little wood shim out that I already put in there. I'm going to put some rubber gloves on. And start with the old coolant. And then, yeah, that's that. I'm going to go fast, guys. So I'll talk. If I talk, it might just work. Little tip, guys. I like to take a paper towel and stuff it underneath the drain because it always goes everywhere. I like a pitcher that has a spout on it so I can actually get the spout up in there. And these caps are a little tricky on the newer KTMs. It's a quarter turn. So you get in here. Gotta grunt. That's the whole name of the game. Grunt. Okay. Now listen. I'm not going to go all the way because I want it to have a little bit of vacuum in the system right now. And then I'm going to scooch the bike in just a little because that white rag will catch a lot of the coolant instead of going on the mat because that makes a big old mess. It sucks. Okay. I need radio. I can't do quiet. That's an adjustment. Okay. Come on, Dino. Okay. Bolt, I know you're going to cooperate. Crush washer. Don't drop it in your pitcher or bucket or whatever you use to drain your coolant. Then I just prop it right up against the stand. I get ready because it's going to come out of there like a son of a gun. Once you crack the seal on this guy, there she goes. Look at that. It's like it was made for it. I used to be able to find these pitchers at Walmart for like $1. Yeah, they're amazing for dumping coolant in your bike, guys. There's a tip. I know somebody's going to pick up on it and go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you're welcome. Still smells funny though. Okay. Still coming out a little bit. These little water pumps, they like to hold it in the bottom. The cases actually hold quite a bit. So now I like the rag there because it catches the drips at the end. Grab your bolt, your tool, send it home. Okay. And then you can just use this to wipe the remainder. Get a little splish splash, not bad. Okay, now this is going to get dumped in our waste coolant. I got some on my leg. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, next, chain. I'll wash my hands off. Ugh. Okay, now that dirty stuff is pretty much done. So then I changed my gloves because in the summertime your hands just get wicked hot in these nitriles. Not fun. But they are quite reusable. You hit them with the contact cleaner a few times. I usually blow a hole in them, but I save them on reserve. All right, let's have some fun, boys and girls. With these 85s, 65s, you want to pull them back on these lift stands. Get like a 1x and you can slide it under here so you're not resting on your pipe. You don't want to rest on a pipe. If you want to get it up high enough to work on it comfortably, then you actually pull the pipe like you're doing a top in. Stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to cut some zip ties and throw them on the ground. Okay, bar pad. Stop part. Stop part. Okay, that's good. Oh, bro, why'd you do that? I should put that guy up here. Stuff to get rid of. Down there, that's the bar pad. Stock parts, whatnot. Okay, cut off frame guards. So usually when you go around the bike, you just work around. All this stuff that's, you got one tool in your hand, so use that tool to get all those things. Stock seat. I'm going to set it down there because all the plastic is going to go down there. Put all my hardware in my tub. Now guys, I'm putting everything in the tub because I know how to build these things, but at the same time, to stay organized, best advice would be, if it's your first time, okay, take some blue shop towels like this. I'll give you an example, okay? Take these, lay them out, seat bolt, okay? This applies to all bikes. Seat bolt, okay? Then you have your tank bolts, because that's just the order of events that I took them apart, okay? Like that. You have a fender, rear fender, right? Okay. Kind of like that. Can't really see that from there, huh? Duh. So, that's, sorry, rear fender and a front number plate. So I like to go top down as I'm coming apart, and kind of when you go together, it'll kind of do the same thing. Use a Sharpie. You can write seat bolts, tank, shrouds, front number plate, rear fender, and then just categorize everything as you're going left to right, like you're reading a book. Okay? Tech tip. I'll leave that how it is, and then I'll just kind of scroll over it later in the video. Oh, by the way, make sure you like and subscribe. And go to EliteMotoFactory.com. Pick yourself up some merchandise to get entered to win this Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. It's a Sledgehammer. He's a Sledgehammer. You ever take it off any sweet jumps? Best part when he gets hit in the nuts with his bike. Sick. Pull that hour meter. Ah, heck. Guys, I'll lay it out. Then you'll understand. I'll give you the example. I was going to not do it, but I decided I'll do it. It's best to do it that way, Tony. Then they can learn. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got tank, seat, tank, front number, rear, fender. Yeah, shroud it loose. I got our hour meter hanging. I'm just gonna chill it out right here. Okay, smells so good. Okay, and we're gonna undo our fuel line. Pliers. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna spill. As soon as you run it out, I know that. So the line actually should be dry. Okay, that's done. Okay, it didn't drip on me, but I plug it. I like to plug the fuel line, guys. Always plug a fuel line. Always plug a fuel line, even just sitting in the open for a month. Plug it. I like these little silicone plugs. And I even put a cap on the petcock on the tank because, well, I know for sure a lot of people don't have tank stands like I do. So they set it on a bench or they set it in a trash can or something, right? And what could happen is you get some debris in the petcock. Always flush it out before you put it on a bike anyway. But yeah, I like to keep these elevated always. Keeps the petcock out of anything. Fuel injected bikes, they're super sensitive to any sort of debris in the fuel system. So I like tank stands. Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But the reason I have tank stands is to do that. Keep them off the ground, keep them off the bench, keep them elevated. Look at all the factory race teams. They use tank stands. That's where I learned it. So I made them. Anyways, that is that. Now, just plug your stuff. Filter your fuel. Strain it out. Don't run pump gas. Run ETS. All right, I'm gonna crack the axle loose. Rear axle is 30 mil. These aluminum axle nuts, guys. Take a rag. It's a brand new bike. I don't want to go and put a bunch of tool marks on it. So I just take a blue rag, cover the axle nut, go over here with my socket. That gives it a little bit of a buffer. So you're not gonna mar it all up. That's loose. Okay, so I'm just loosening some things right now. And then when we go to pull it apart, everything just comes apart. Super nice. Same with the front. Rag. Nut. Loose. There that goes. Power tools. Loud noises. Okay, pinch. So I'm loosening all the 6 mils right now. Radiator hoses, air boot, so I can yank that subframe. But first I need to, I'll try to ratchet force before I give the old jug. Loosen these subframe bolts. Oh yeah, okay, we got the jug. We can do that. Okay. Oh, pull this airbox cover because that top subframe bolt is kind of in the way. I'm gonna mark up this plastic. Okay. Okay, get that piece down there. Buddy, there we go. Okay. Loose. We need to go on that one. Okay, rear fender and airbox. Oh, sweet, it's just like bikes. Okay, frame guards go in that. There's one big fender. Mud flap, hold it together. Okay. Come on, you. There it goes. 6. Okay. Keep it all nice, Tony. Go upside down with this guy. There's not a lot of stuff available for these things. And someone's probably going to say, at least I hope they do, oh, KTM's going out of business. They're going bankrupt. No, bro. They're not. Anyways, please say something. Chain slider. I want that sleeve cylinder here as well. For all you KTM guys out there that go to pull an engine, please don't pull the banjo off of the slave. because then you got to go and bleed it, and they can be a pain in the butt. So instead, just pull the whole slave cylinder attached to its hydraulic line. Some of them have gaskets, some of them just have O-rings. Usually the two strokes just have an O-ring, and the 4 strokes have an O-ring and a gasket. Oh, there we go. Okay, slave is off. Just be careful with them because there is a diaphragm in there and they can get damaged pretty easily. A lot of times if they're too full on oil, they're going to leak there too. So just pay attention. So you pull the controls with everything. I just wrap this rag around it while I'm working on the breast of the bike so it doesn't get damaged. Okay, so we're going to pull subframe, we're going to pull bars, front end, rear motor. I don't think it's last change. Maybe what's it? Subframe might be a bit like the 65s, where I think it is. So yeah, it's gusseted back here. So this just holds this part of the box on right here. So you wanna, okay, there's that one screw. Top, there she goes. Okay, you push it forward and it comes out. Okay, wire harness is down here. Our carburetor, throw a rag in it. She's a little gooey. Ugh. Okay, that shock, I'm gonna loosen that puppy. Put our subframe. See all the webbing underneath here? It's super light. It's actually kind of cool. I know the 65s are like a 4-piece design. You got side here, and then you got the top. Maybe it's a 3-piece, I guess. It's kind of neat. Shock. 13 milliliter. Ah, oh. Okay. You bugger. Okay. Shock is loose. Front wheel brake. All right, so while I got the wheel and everything on here, I'm gonna loosen this stem nut. Don't do it with no forks in the triple clamps, because what can happen is it can rotate and it can smash. You know, depending on the bike, it can hit the frame. So always do it with the, you don't have to do it with the wheel in, but always do it with the forks in. There, just in case they spin. That one wasn't tight at all. Thanks, Hans. Okay, and with these KTMs, this pinch bolt keeps everything together. There's no spanner underneath this top triple clamp. So that whole bottom end, if these were loose, ground. Ooh. Okay, front. Okay. On your back, bro. Wipe all that old grease off of there before you put it on your nice towel. Oh man, a big old booger in this one. Sherlina. Oh, poop. Oh. 25 bucks is an entry. Don't want to miss this. Really good chances. It still kind of smells funny. Okay, brake. Hold your caliper. Don't put a lot of pressure on that brake line. Forks. Something cool to talk about, since we're dealing with forks right now, is factory connection. Factory Connection's on board with this little project. They are actually going to provide a revalve certificate to set up for the winter. It's pretty awesome. It's actually valued at 600 bucks. So I'm honored to have their involvement in this. Fun fact about Factory Connection is I actually worked for them for a few years. Between the race team and the suspension shop, I was there for almost 7 years, I want to say it was. I was a mechanic first, and then moved over to the suspension shop. Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm excited to have them involved in this project. working with Factory Connection was a lot of good experience in my career. Understanding suspension a bit more, and the people there, aside from suspension, are just awesome. They're like a family to me. Super cool to have their involvement. If you guys are interested in some of these parts, keep a lookout on the MX Locker. KTM 85 bits on that soon. I'm gonna pull the bars. Killy. I'm gonna wait. Just gonna hold these in place with this because I don't want to pull that master cylinder yet. Okay, we'll pull the slave cylinder. Hey, knocked that off. Super Loctited. Close on these two paper towels. Now we can get the slave cylinder out of here. Get this little bracket that holds all the wiring. Kill switch, wire harness, disconnect. Stair. That's that. Coil. It wasn't even that tight. Buddies. Coil. Okay, wire harness for this little bugger. So easy. Grab a bin for the harney. Carburetor. Okay. Throttle assembly with the carburetor. I'll disconnect all this stuff later. We're changing that out. Anyways, T-Rex. Yeah, baby. Guys need to look into T-Rex. Just saying. Just check them out. Pretty awesome. Try to keep these master cylinders level, guys, because air will get in there. You gotta bleed the slave and the master. And sometimes these slaves don't want to bleed all that well. Just be mindful of it. Wrap that bugger up. Put it up here on the top. Stuff a rag there and a boot. Mini bike dramas. 19 mil. That's a 17. Big bikes is 19. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna do some Instagrams collection while I'm doing this. So I need the phone. When you see me next, this is gonna be a bucket of parts on the ground. All right, guys, there it is. Frame on the stand, into a bunch of pieces. All those pieces over here that we're gonna use. Brake systems, the clutch, rear brake pedal, obviously. We got the tank. All the plastic's getting reused. Got everything laid out. You know, wheels aren't gonna be used. We're going big wheels. These are small wheels. That right there is brand new air filter. Runner-up prizes. What's up? This is all stock stuff. Stock, the shock is gonna get used. The forks are gonna get used. And the subframe is gonna get used. Well, like I said, we're going big wheels. W's coming in hot with a sweet set. Just stay tuned. Anyways, we got a frame in a frame. Get what I did? I made it funny. Swing arms right down there. You know, during the Instagram filming, you know, there's not a lot of grease discovered on said bits that need the grease. You know, steering bearings, swing arm bearings. There's no linkage on these, so there's no linkage bearings to grease. But all those points of bearing a load had zero grease. I shouldn't say zero grease. All those points that needed to have grease did not have grease. I went ahead and laid them out on a towel so I could show you what I was talking about instead of just going ham-fisting on things, how the bike came apart. And then some little notes. This little rag right here is basically the frame. So when I go to build a bike, I'll start with all of this, frame and swing arm, and get that stuff prepped. And then over here is all the other chassis bits, you know, from top to bottom. Our big fasteners over there. Steering bearings here. You got our head stays here. This is handlebar stuff. I know what it is. I didn't write it though. It's a bad Tony. clutch master, shock bolts, front pinch bolts. The triple clamp pinch bolts are in the triple clamps because they're going with the triple clamps when those go MIA. So if anybody's looking for KTM 85 SX parts out of a 25, let me know. Go to the website, elitemotofactory.com, hit the contact link, send an email if you have questions. But that's a wrap on this one. Thanks for tuning in. We didn't make a big old mess, just a little mess. Radiators are hiding over there. And then we're gonna circle back. Circle back to the bike. Somebody's motorcycle. One of you guys is gonna win it. Get entered. Closes August 4th. Don't forget about these either. Get in on that comment giveaway. Ooh. Get your comments submitted for my picking. Interested to see who your favorite bass fisherman is. That's a professional, older, or even in today's day. Also, the Works Connection Joe Dirt comment giveaway. Let me hear it. Well, guys, I'm just going through my checklist here to make sure we covered everything to discuss in this video. The next part that's going to take place with this is we're going to get the frame over to FBC, Fast Blast and Coat, here in Garden City, Idaho, and have Dino throw some fresh powder at it. Yeah, get rid of the orange because it's really bright. And I don't want orange for this particular build. Think 03 Jeremy McGrath. It'll all start coming back. Well, you old guys, you know what I'm talking about. Make sure you get entered. EliteMotoFactory.com. Factory Connection is kicking in on this one. They are going to provide a revalve to whoever wins the bike. That's a $600 value. You know, aside from springs, and the person that wins it decides they want to do some upgrades like the spring kit and the forks or something like that, then that is on the winner. Pretty stoked about that. So thank you, Factory Connection. I appreciate that. I hope one of you guys sees this because it really does mean a lot to me. Also, after we take care of the powder coat, we're going to split the engine back there and send that crankshaft down to Jan Primo. He's going to take care of the balancing for me on this one, which is pretty awesome. I'm actually excited to know that he does that because there's a lot of crankshaft need in the community. So if you guys need crankshaft work, other performance work done, Jan is also a good resource to have. I'll provide some information for contacting Jan. He's a former race guy just like myself. Let's get ready to build you guys a little Ripa. I appreciate you watching this. And if you like and subscribe, I appreciate your support there. I appreciate your support if you're an existing customer. I appreciate your support if you already bought some merch and got entered to this giveaway. So all that said, I'm definitely planning a lot more giveaways. I have a lot of bikes that I want to build. I haven't necessarily been able to get the custom client, but I also haven't put myself out there to find them. If anybody's looking to get a bike built, anybody that needs, you know, some custom engine work done, even if you want to have a bike restored, I will do restorations, but I will only go back to the year 2000. Nothing older than that. I do have a lot of 4-stroke knowledge and 2-stroke knowledge. Any sort of questions, dirt bike related you might have, I've got a wealth of knowledge within the industry, and I'm rooted pretty deep in it. So if there's anything I can help you with, reach out, you know, via the contact link on the website, send an email, ask a question, shoot, you can give me a call. I'd be happy to help. In wrapping this video up, I have a lot of people that I need to thank. So I'm going to start just listing them off. So please be patient with me as I do this. First and foremost, for the motorcycle, Young Power Sports of Logan. You guys really rule, like for real. Getting behind me on this and other projects in the future, I really appreciate that. Technical Touch and X-Trig for the triple clamps. Hinson for the incoming clutch. Works Connection for all the amazing parts that you guys make. But in this case, specific 85 parts. I know you guys just came out with those caps. That's pretty awesome that you're offering stuff for the small KTMs. ETS Racing Fuels for always providing the best fuel available. Moto Company, Dustin, Nowak. Buddy, we're working up something spicy and I'm excited to show everybody. Guts Racing for the seat cover. Also, Guts is going to provide some certificates for giveaways in the future, so stay tuned. Factory Connection for the suspension work to be done on this motorcycle. Maxima Racing Oils for providing the best chemicals. WHAATTT Tools for some of the hand tools that they've recently sent me. I appreciate that, guys. Velocity Components for all the sweet tools that you continue to make and provide. Elite Moto Factory. Get Athena and VHM. W for the amazing wheel set that is about to be built for you guys. Matrix Concepts for supporting the shop with shop mats. Evans Waterless Coolant. Guys, you need to look into Evans. I've been using it for well over 10 years. Stuff doesn't boil over. It's amazing. I really could have used it 20 years ago. to be 100% honest. That would have saved a lot of 4-stroke DNFs in professional motocross racing. DT1 air filters. Pretty stoked to put some DT1 back in some machines, let me tell you. Bill's pipes. I don't know what else I can say, but thank you. Brandon, Jeff, Bill, all you guys. You've been huge supporters of me in the past. I really appreciate your support, your ongoing support. You've always been there. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys. FBC, Fast Blasted Coat. Dino, thank you for your support. We really haven't gotten these projects, but you've helped with other projects in the past, and I just want to tell you thank you. Renthal, handlebars, grips, chain wheels. Pretty stoked on that partnership. That just came to fruition. Dunlop motorcycle tires. Dunlop, you guys have had my back for a long time. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Anchor tape, frame tape, factory frame tape, used by a lot of the pros today. Star Yamaha, factory Kawasaki, PC. Front number plate vents, airbox side, modifications, or frame grip for your motorcycle. Anchor tape's place to go. T-Rex throttles, they're indestructible. They have a pile of parts for the small bikes, like 50s and 65s and 85s, things like that, like triple clamps and obviously throttle assemblies and sprockets for those small bikes, but they also make universal throttles for the big bikes, even 4-stroke. So look into T-Rex throttles. They're an amazing part. I use them on all my kids' bikes. They're indestructible. You know, cast ones have caused DNFs before where I don't know how many times he's gone down with a T-Rex and never had a problem. You don't have to clean it. It's amazing. Yanni Primo, my French mate, he's going to take care of the crankshaft on this one like we talked about earlier in the video. Pretty excited about that. 2 race dudes building the bike. It's going to be pretty neat. Racetech Titanium. Thank you, Racetech Titanium, for your ongoing support on projects in the past and projects in the present. I do appreciate that. Fast House, just because Fast House freaking rules. Coolest moto brand I've really ever encountered. I appreciate your guys' support in the past. You know, well, with one project, the Hellraiser, I really do appreciate that. I know we got to muck up a bunch of stuff and have a good time. And I look forward to more projects in the future. Automatic Distributors will allow all you garage mechanics out there that don't have a brick and mortar to actually get some distributorship. I was kind of giving up hope over the last few years on getting like a Western Power Sports or something like that, but Automatic Distributors can help you out. So look up Automatic, because I would like to see more garage mechanics get distributorship, to be totally honest. Okay guys, that's pretty much wrapping it up. I just wanted to make sure I said those special thanks to all my people. All those people, they help me build things like this for you. So be sure you check out those products and support them, because they support me. And that gets somebody here a chance to win something pretty awesome. It's actually pretty insane when you think about it. I've worked real hard to get to this point and build a reputation to have that kind of support. So I'm very proud of it. Now I'm at the point in my career where I get to offer this to somebody else for virtually next to nothing. So it's pretty cool. Make sure you check out the description and the links. I'm gonna get better with this. I'm kind of just winging it right now. Okay guys, before I forget, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share the video to your pals, because I'm sure they'd like to see something cool like this.